It is 2:13 a.m. The candle beside your unfinished notebook has almost burned away. Your laptop is closed, but its charging light is still glowing. Outside, rain taps softly against the window. You are young. This should feel like the beginning of your life. So why do you already feel completely exhausted? Tonight, you do not need another plan for becoming stronger. You do not need to force yourself through one more task. Stay here for a moment. The candle does not need to burn until morning, and neither do you. The candle on the desk is still burning. It is a small candle, much shorter than it was at the beginning of the week. Warm wax has gathered around its base and hardened in uneven circles. The flame bends whenever cold air touches the window, then rises again, weaker but still present. Beside it is an open notebook. One page holds a list written in careful lines. A few items have been crossed out, most have not. A pencil lies across the bottom of the page, its tip broken. The laptop is closed, but a small charging light continues to glow in the dark. It is after midnight. Rain has been falling for almost an hour. Water moves slowly along the glass, bending the distant city lights into soft blue and amber shapes. The room should be quiet enough for rest. Instead, the unfinished page seems to fill it. You may know a room like this. A room where the work has stopped, but the pressure has not. The body has become heavy. The eyes hurt. Even simple thoughts move slowly now. Yet the mind remains beside the notebook, counting everything that was not completed. One more task, one more message, one more promise to become serious tomorrow. There is a kind of exhaustion that feels confusing when you are still young. You look at your age and think you should have more energy. You see people studying late, working early, building careers, exercising, traveling, making plans, and speaking about the future as if it were an exciting place already waiting for them. Then you look at yourself. Getting out of bed requires a quiet negotiation. A shower feels like a project. A message can remain unanswered for days, not because you do not care, but because even a few words seem to require energy you cannot find. You may sit at a desk for an hour and produce almost nothing. The mind moves through fog. The body stays still. Shame grows around the task until the task becomes even harder to begin. This is the part people often do not understand. They see a person doing less and assume that person does not want enough. They do not see the candle. They do not see how long it has been burning. Burnout is rarely created by one difficult day. It is often made from hundreds of ordinary days in which the body asked for less and the mind answered with more. Another hour, another responsibility, another goal accepted because saying no felt dangerous, another night of sleep treated as optional, another morning when tiredness was called laziness. The flame does not disappear at once. It becomes smaller gradually. At first, you still remember what energy felt like. You can push through. Coffee helps. Deadlines help. Fear helps most of all. Fear can create surprising amounts of movement. Fear of disappointing people. Fear of becoming ordinary. Fear that someone younger will move ahead. Fear that your family will worry. Fear that all the sacrifices already made will become meaningless if you slow down now. For a while, fear can look like discipline. It wakes you early. It keeps the screen bright long after midnight. It fills the calendar and gives the day a hard shape. Other people may praise the result. They call you focused, responsible, driven. They do not hear the sentence underneath every completed task. If I stop, I may become nothing. A person can live under that sentence for years without recognizing it. There is always another reason to continue. This exam matters. This project is temporary. This busy season will end soon. After the deadline, there will be rest. After the promotion, after enough money, after proving that the difficult years were worth it. But the finish line moves. The future keeps asking for a little more of the present. Eventually, rest no longer feels like something natural. It becomes a reward that must be earned through complete exhaustion. And complete exhaustion is never enough, because there is always one unfinished item on the page. The candle beside the notebook bends again. Its light is not dramatic. There is no fire filling the room. Burnout often looks less dramatic than people expect. It may look like eating food without tasting much of it. It may look like opening the same app repeatedly because choosing anything else feels harder. It may look like sleeping for many hours and waking without feeling restored. It may look like canceling plans you once wanted, then feeling lonely because nobody is near. It may look like staring at a favorite hobby and wondering why interest no longer arrives. From outside, the person may still function. Work is submitted. Classes are attended. Messages receive short answers. The lamp remains on. That is why burnout can continue for so long. The candle is technically still burning. Nobody asks whether the flame has enough air. You may have asked yourself whether you are simply lazy. It is a painful question, especially when the world around you seems full of people who can do more. Lazy is a simple word. It creates a clear moral story. A good person works. A bad person avoids work. A strong person continues. A weak person rests. But a human nervous system is more complicated than a moral story. Sometimes what looks like avoidance is protection. The brain begins to resist a task because it has learned that every task leads to another, that completion never creates safety, and that doing well only results in a larger demand. The body does not refuse because it hates the future. It refuses because it no longer trusts the way the future is being built. There is an old alarm inside burnout. It says there is no safe place to stop. No hour belongs fully to rest. No achievement will be allowed to remain enough. The body hears this alarm long after the laptop closes. It carries the day into bed. The jaw stays tight. The shoulders remain lifted. Sleep becomes shallow because some part of the system is still waiting for the next request. Then morning arrives, and the person is blamed for not feeling ready. You do not need another accusation tonight. You need a more honest description of what happened. You became tired because you carried too much for too long without enough repair. That is not the whole story, but it is a kinder place to begin. The rain becomes stronger against the window. The candle moves inside the glass holder, protected from the cold air but still consuming itself to create light. This is the central mistake many tired people were taught. They were taught that having light means they must keep burning. If you are talented, use it constantly. If you are young, do not waste the energy. If you have an opportunity, accept it. If you can carry more, carry more. Ability becomes an obligation. A person is praised for the amount of themselves they can turn into output. Soon, the candle is no longer allowed to exist unless it is producing light for the room. But a candle is not a machine. Neither are you. You do not have to burn continuously to prove that you contain light. Read that slowly inside yourself. You do not have to burn continuously to prove that you contain light. Your value is not measured by how much of yourself you can consume before morning. There are other forms of light. The light of attention that is not rushed. The light of listening when another person speaks. The light of curiosity returning after a long absence. The light of waking up without immediately wishing the day would leave you alone. These lights cannot survive if the whole candle is spent on proving. There may have been an older version of you who did not know this. That version believed exhaustion was the price of the future. Perhaps the adults around you were always tired. They continued anyway, so you learned that this was what maturity looked like. Perhaps praise arrived when you performed well and silence arrived when you struggled. You learned to move toward praise. Perhaps money was uncertain and rest looked dangerous because safety depended on constant effort. Perhaps social media placed thousands of successful lives in your pocket, making every slow day feel like evidence of failure. The younger self did not create these pressures. The younger self tried to survive them. Do not hate that person for learning to run. That version of you was not foolish. That version believed speed would lead somewhere safe. It believed the future would eventually turn around and say, "You have done enough. You may rest now." The future never said it, so the running continued. The candle grew shorter. The body became quieter. The dream that once created energy began to feel like another room where work was waiting. There is grief in recognizing this. You may grieve the years when your youth did not feel young. The evenings spent worrying instead of exploring. The hobbies turned into side projects. The friendships delayed until life became less busy. The sleep lost to futures that never arrived in the form you imagined. Grief does not mean those years were worthless. It means something important was missing. You were alive during those years, but too much of that life was spent preparing to become worthy of living later. Let the grief be honest without turning it into a new punishment. The past cannot be rested retroactively. You cannot return sleep to an earlier body. You cannot place gentleness into every old morning. But you can stop asking the present to repeat the same payment. That is where recovery begins. Not with a perfect routine, not with a dramatic promise to become a completely different person. Recovery begins when tiredness is allowed to provide information without being placed on trial. What is this exhaustion trying to protect? What demand has become too expensive? What part of the day consumes more than it gives? Which responsibilities are real, and which ones exist only because you are frightened of appearing less impressive? These questions need time. A burned-out mind often wants a quick answer because thinking itself has become tiring. There may not be one answer. Burnout can be built from work, study, money, family, loneliness, comparison, poor sleep, uncertainty, and the effort of appearing fine. Recovery may also need more than one path. A boundary, a conversation, medical or professional support, a change in workload, real sleep, food eaten regularly, time that is not secretly preparing you for another task. None of these things are signs that you failed at being strong. Strength is not the ability to ignore every signal until the body becomes silent. Strength can be the willingness to listen before the flame disappears. The candle has reached a small pool of melted wax. Its wick is still present, but shorter now. The room does not need more light. The lamp on the wall is enough. Morning will come whether the candle burns until sunrise or not. Still, there is a belief inside many tired people. If I stop now, everything I have done will be wasted. This is the logic of the unfinished page. It turns earlier effort into a chain. Because you have already worked for years, you must continue. Because you have already sacrificed sleep, you must make the sacrifice meaningful by sacrificing more. Because people expect this version of you, you must keep producing it. But a cost does not become wise simply because it has already been paid. The past deserves meaning, not repetition. You can honor the effort by learning from what it cost. You can thank the version of yourself who carried too much without handing the same weight to every future version. The notebook does not need every box crossed tonight. The unfinished page is not a moral record. It is paper. The candle is not ashamed of being short. It has already given light. There is a natural place to pause here. If this quiet story is giving your mind room to soften, you can gently like this episode and subscribe to Calm Rhythm Podcast. It helps this calm space reach another tired person on another late night, only if it feels right. Now, return to the candle. The flame remains small. Nothing punished the room during the pause. No future collapsed. The rain continued. That is an important lesson in itself. You can stop for a moment and the world can continue without demanding immediate disaster. Burnout often creates the feeling that every pause is dangerous. The inbox will grow. The opportunity will disappear. The routine will break. Someone will notice that you are not keeping up. Some of these risks may be real. Responsibilities do not vanish because a person is tired. But urgency is not equally true in every moment. A nervous system under pressure treats all unfinished things as alarms. The cup in the sink, the unread message, the uncertain career, the laundry, the decision about next year. Everything arrives with the same red light. Recovery includes learning that not every signal is an emergency. Some messages can wait. Some plans can remain unclear. Some rooms can be untidy. Some goals can become smaller. This is not giving up on life. It is giving life a shape the body can survive. There may be fear that resting will reveal you were never disciplined at all. Without pressure, who will make you move? Without shame, will you do anything? This fear is common in people who have used self-criticism as fuel for a long time. Harshness creates motion, but it also damages trust. When every task begins with an attack, the mind learns to fear beginning. Gentleness may feel less powerful at first because it does not shout. It asks different questions. What can be carried today without borrowing too heavily from tomorrow? What is the smallest honest step? What needs to be removed before something useful can begin? A gentler life is not necessarily an inactive life. It can contain effort, but the effort has edges. There is a point where the day closes. There is a meal that is not eaten at the desk. There is sleep that is not treated as stolen time. There are interests allowed to remain interests. The candle is allowed to be unlit for a while. This last idea can be difficult. People often imagine recovery as immediately discovering a bright new purpose. A month of rest, then a better career. A weekend away, then full energy. A new routine, then perfect focus. This is still hustle culture wearing softer clothes. It allows rest only if rest quickly creates more output. Real recovery may be less useful than that. There may be a season where nothing impressive happens. The garden lies quiet. The field remains empty. The candle sits without flame. From the outside, this can look like absence. Underneath, the system is learning safety again. The mind discovers that a quiet hour does not need to become a project. The body learns that lying down does not always end with guilt. Curiosity begins to return without being ordered. These changes are subtle. No one may congratulate you for them. Still, they matter. A nervous system does not return through applause. It returns through repeated evidence that the danger has softened. A meal at a regular time. A night with the phone farther from the bed. A task made smaller before it becomes impossible. One honest no. One afternoon where rest is not followed by punishment. These actions teach the body that the world is not only a place where energy is taken. The rain begins to weaken. The sound against the glass becomes less constant. Individual drops can be heard again. The candle still burns, but it is not alone in lighting the room. A warm lamp stands across the desk. The distant sky has begun to lose a little of its darkness. The flame does not need to carry everything. Neither do you. There may be responsibilities that can be shared. There may be expectations that exist only because nobody knows how tired you are. There may be people willing to help if the truth is spoken without making it smaller. Sharing exhaustion can feel difficult when your identity has been built around reliability. You may worry that honesty will disappoint people. Some people may not understand immediately. They have become used to receiving the light without seeing what it costs. Yet a relationship that depends on your continuous burning needs new terms. This does not require anger. It requires truth. I cannot carry this alone. I need more time. I cannot answer tonight. I have less capacity than I used to. These sentences are not failures. They are doors through which support can enter. If support is not available from the people around you, professional support may matter. Burnout can overlap with depression, anxiety, sleep problems, physical illness, or other conditions that deserve real care. A gentle podcast can offer companionship. It cannot diagnose the body or replace care. You deserve help that takes your exhaustion seriously. You do not need to prove that the problem is severe enough. Difficulty is enough reason to speak. The younger version of you might resist this. That version learned independence as protection. Needing help felt like creating danger. depending on another person created the chance of being disappointed, so you became the helper, the reliable one, the one who found a way. Honor the intelligence of that strategy. Then notice its cost. A strategy can save you in one season and isolate you in another. You are allowed to update the way you survive. The candle flame moves lower, then steadies. Imagine placing a wide glass around it, not to trap it, but to protect it from the wind while leaving enough air inside. Boundaries can work like that glass. They do not remove the flame from the world. They create conditions in which it can continue without fighting every current of air. A boundary around sleep, a boundary around messages, a boundary around the amount of emotional weight taken from other people, a boundary around weekends, meals, or one quiet hour. The boundary may appear small. Its effect can be deep. Every protected space tells the body, you do not have to spend everything today. Some energy may remain yours. That sentence carries a different future. A future where life is not only extraction. A future where your gifts are offered, not consumed. A future where rest is part of the rhythm rather than an apology after collapse. You might not trust that future yet. That is all right. Trust grows from evidence. Begin with something small enough to keep. Do not promise an entirely new life tomorrow. Choose one light to turn off, one task to shorten, one expectation to question, 1 hour to return to yourself. A promise that is small and kept can restore more trust than a perfect plan abandoned after 3 days. The notebook remains open, but the page seems less powerful now. Some items do not need to be completed. Others can move. A few might belong to somebody else. The list was never the whole life. There are things it cannot measure. The moment your shoulders lower after receiving understanding. The taste of food when you are not rushing. The quiet happiness of an interest that never becomes income. The return of laughter that is not used to reassure anyone. These things may not create progress in the language of achievement. They create presence. Presence is what burnout often steals first. The body remains in the room, but the mind lives 3 weeks ahead. The future consumes the current hour. Recovery brings life back in pieces. The warmth of a mug, the sound of rain becoming softer, the small flame reflected in a dark window, the breath entering without being turned into a technique. Notice the breath now. Do not change it immediately. It has been working all day without praise. Let it arrive as it is. There is no score, no ideal pace. The body does not have to perform relaxation correctly. A tired person can become anxious even about healing. Am I resting enough? Am I recovering quickly? Why am I still tired? This turns care into another exam. Recovery does not follow a clean schedule. There will be better days and heavier ones. Energy may return for an afternoon and disappear the next morning. This does not mean you are back at the beginning. The nervous system learns through repetition, not perfection. A difficult day can exist inside a healing season. A candle can go dark without losing the ability to hold light again. Soon, the flame reaches the end of the wick. There is a temptation to describe this as failure, but the candle has not failed. It reached a limit. Limits are not moral judgments. They are information about form. A cup has an edge. A day has an ending. A body needs sleep. Pretending otherwise does not create strength. It only hides the cost until the cost becomes larger. The flame gives one final soft movement and disappears. A thin line of smoke rises above the wax. The room does not become dark. The lamp remains. A pale warmth has begun to enter the sky beyond the window. This is the second truth of the night. You are not the only source of light. The world does not need your constant burning in order to continue. People can adjust. Tasks can wait. Morning brings another kind of brightness. You are allowed to receive light sometimes instead of always creating it. Let that sentence be quiet. You are allowed to receive light, care, time, a meal, a patient answer. a room where nobody needs anything from you. At first, receiving may feel uncomfortable. It may awaken guilt because you learn to measure belonging through usefulness. Stay gently with the discomfort. You do not need to repay every kindness immediately. You do not need to turn support into debt. Receiving is part of relationship. Resting is part of work. Darkness is part of the rhythm that makes light visible. If you want, you can leave one quiet sentence in the comments. I do not have to burn to prove that I have light. Someone else may find those words tonight after another long day and feel less alone. For now, let the sentence remain near you. I do not have to burn to prove that I have light. Your energy can become quieter without your value becoming smaller. You can do less without becoming less. You can need care without becoming a burden. The candle is unlit now. The wax is still warm. Nothing needs to be done with it. There is no need to strike another match immediately. Let the wick cool. Let the room receive the softer light of morning. This pause is not an empty space between useful moments. It is part of life. The old system may continue speaking. You are wasting time. You should be stronger. Other people can handle more. Notice the voice. Then look at the candle. Comparison cannot tell you how long another flame has been burning, how much wind it has faced, or what it has been asked to light. Your capacity does not need to match another person's capacity in order to be respected. You are not late because you need recovery early. There is no correct age for becoming tired. The body responds to what it has carried, not to what people think someone your age should be able to carry. A young body can hold old pressure. A new career can contain years of fear. A person at the beginning can already be exhausted from preparing to begin. If that is your story, let it be real. You do not need to minimize it because someone else has suffered longer. Pain does not become valid only after winning a comparison. Your exhaustion deserves attention now. A day may come when energy returns differently. Not as the sharp energy of fear. Not as a sudden need to fix the whole life. It may return as interest. You notice a color. You want to hear a song again. A small task feels possible without force. You begin to imagine tomorrow without immediately calculating its demands. These are quiet signs. Do not turn them into pressure. Let curiosity remain small. A flame newly lit does not need to light the whole room. Protect it. Give it air. Keep it away from the strongest wind. The goal is not to return to the exact person you were before burnout. That person may have been living in a way that made burnout almost inevitable. Recovery can create a different person, someone who notices limits sooner, someone less impressed by constant urgency, someone who understands that a full calendar can still contain an empty life, someone who values steadiness over intensity. This person may appear slower from the outside. Inside, there is more room. The sky beyond the rain-streaked window is becoming warmer. Indigo loosens into gray, then pale terracotta near the horizon. The notebook can close. The pencil with the broken tip can remain where it is. Anything important will still exist after sleep. Anything that cannot survive one night without your attention was already asking too much. Let the shoulders become heavier against the bed or chair. Allow the jaw to soften. The forehead does not need to hold tomorrow in place. Breathe in slowly. No task is hidden inside this breath. Breathe out. Nothing must be proved through the way you exhale. Again, a gentle breath in, a longer breath out. The room is quiet enough now. The candle has stopped burning. The rain has nearly stopped. The unfinished list no longer needs to speak. You have not failed because you reached a limit. You have not wasted your youth because you became tired. You are not weak because the future needs to be built more slowly. The light inside you does not disappear when you stop producing it for everyone else. It remains, quiet, protected, waiting for air. Rest the part of you that turned fear into discipline. Rest the younger self who believed exhaustion would purchase a safe future. Rest the body that kept moving after joy became difficult to find. Rest the mind that has counted every unfinished thing. Nothing else needs to be added tonight. The work can remain unfinished. The answer can remain unclear. The candle can remain unlit. Morning knows how to arrive without your effort. Let it come. Let yourself receive its light. You do not have to burn to prove that you have light. Sleep well. Calm Rhythm Podcast.